What's up, everybody? It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I can't seem to fall asleep, so I'm still wide awake. I've been doing a lot of exercise training tonight. I've been working out, hitting the boxing pads and the boxing bag with a few of my friends, and learning some techniques from one of my African friends who's a really good teacher. So that's been good, and I'm gaining a lot more fitness and stamina, so I'm really enjoying that, and I want to keep pursuing it. So I thought I'd use this time to come out here and have a talk with you about my experience in prison, and let you get a little bit of insight into the world of Australian prisons, and what it's like for somebody who's not really an active criminal. So you go to court, right? You get sentenced. The judge says, all right, take him away into custody. So the policemen inside the courtroom, they come and take you. They put you in cuffs right there in the courtroom in front of your family and friends, and they take you up the pathway to the watch house, to your local watch house. Now, once you're in the watch house, they strip search you. They issue all your property into police property, and they put you in a cold cell, just a mattress with no sheet on it. They give you a few blankets, and you're pretty much forced to remain in the clothes that you went to court in for days and days and days, until you finally get to prison and get new clothes. Now, while you're in the watch house, you don't have much at all. All you have is your TV that's out in the little foyer room, and then in your cell it's just two beds side by side. You don't know who's going to come in there. It's usually very cold and very boring. You sit and watch digital television, which is very boring, and it's very cold. While in the watch house, they can move you to another watch house. I was at Redcliffe Watch House for 2 days, and then they eventually moved me at the crack of dawn. No, it was like 3 in the morning. They woke me up out of my sleep, and they said, "You're going on the bus," and they took me to Pine River's watch house. Now, I was a bit cranky that they woke me up at 3 a.m. Like, why did they have to get me up at 3 a.m., out of my sleep to move me to another watch house? But I guess that's just part of their little punishment to mess with your head. So I went from Redcliffe Watch House. I was there for 2 days, same clothes that I wore to court, and then I got on this bus. They put you in cuffs in this tiny little bus, little cubicle. And they take you to Pine Rivers, which is a bit more of a bigger watch house. Now, this watch house at Pine Rivers was a lot bigger one, and it had a lot more cells and a lot more room to hold a lot more people. So you might find you meet more people there. The food was just like a packaged lunchbox with like a juice box in it, an apple in it, a little muffin, and some salad sandwiches. So once again, it's you got more of a room to walk around in this watch house at Pine Rivers. There's more people come through. Few real edgy, sketchy types come in there, and I was really shocked to. That's when I first saw the drug use behind the walls, and how they get it in there. So I was at Pine Rivers for about a further 3 days, Pine Rivers Watch House, before I actually went to prison. And while I was at Pine Rivers Watch House, a few different characters came through, a few Indigenous brothers who had done a lot of time before. They were very familiar with jail. Jail was like their second home. So so that was the first time I got to witness how they use needles in prison was at Pine River's Watch House, because these guys were sharing a needle and they were injecting, so that was quite eye-opening. Now, for me, luckily, I got life experience, and I've been through some. I've seen some stuff, and growing up with an alcoholic father, like I sort of have become accustomed to handle things, and so I can handle all sorts of situations like this. So I get along with everyone. I was getting along with these brothers that were using the drugs, and that I didn't use any drugs, even though they offered to me. I turned it down, but I get along with everyone. So I can, So I was at Pine River's Watch House with these brothers for about 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days, and eventually in the morning they came and the police officers came and got me out of my cell and said, get ready because you're going on the bus this morning to Brisbane Correctional Centre. They didn't actually tell me where at that time. They like to keep you guessing to mess with your head. So anyway, you eventually get on the bus, you wait in this cold cell, and then the bus comes, and then a few of you get on there. You're in this little cubicle again, sitting right next to some other poor bloke, all crammed up, especially me being 6'7" and 190 kilo at that time, nearly 200 kilo. So you're in this little cubicle in cuffs with an old mate who's, he was an Australian fella, wasn't it, a white Aussie. And he'd done a lot of time too, and he'd done some pretty serious shit. And you share your stories with each other, and you just get along like brotherhood, brotherhood behind the walls. So we eventually, after a long cramped ride on the highway, we eventually get to Wacol. You're looking through this little tiny window in the bus, and you're looking outside, and you're going through the gates that open where you enter the prison, and then they check in, they jump out, and they sign in. The prison bus drivers sign in, and you're thinking, hurry up, So they're going through so slowly, just crawling through over these speed bumps and that, going through the gates, they're signing in, and then they finally stop, and you think, right, we're here, sweet, we're here, we're at prison, we're at the big house, right? So eventually they'll unlock the door. Everything's loud about jail, and everything just seems to be so loud and just annoying. All the sounds, it's just annoying. So eventually, they open the prison bus door, and they say, all right, step out. So you got to get out. Me, big, massive ass dude, I'm in cuffs, and I'm trying to get out without falling over at this tiny little door. Yeah, fucking what a sight for sore eyes. So they get you out, and they march you through. You and me and the other fella I was with. They marched us through these doors, and they put us straight into another cell. They take the cuffs off. That's a relief. Yes, cuffs are off, and now we're going to sit there in this cold cell with nothing, no TV, and just talk to each other and just think, just hoping that the day won't take too long to get processed and settle in our unit, So you're sitting in this cell for ages, more boys come in, you meet new people, all in the same situation. You find in jail all these fellas that have done a lot of time, and they see prison as their second home. They'll spin their yarns with each other about what they did, and they speak proudly about all their crimes. And dude like me, I'm no saint, but I'm also not a criminal. So for me, it's sort of like, it's a bit shit, But I know how to blend in and camouflage and just blend in and fit into my surroundings. So I'll spin a few yarns too, I tell them, what I did and how I beat someone up drunk, and someone got smart to me, so I fucking hit him, and the brothers laugh and they go, fuck you, you're a massive giant, I wouldn't want to be hit by you. So, you know, we have a laugh and all that. And yeah. So eventually, you know, the guards, they'll call you out one by one, and they'll tell you to get all your gear off, strip search you, and fucking all that, bend over, squat and cough and all that shit, turn around and, you know, lift this up and all this stuff. And yeah, it's really fucking just depriving, you know, it's just fucking shit. And but you do it, you know, you think fuck them, you just do it, and then fucking they'll give you your prison clothes, they'll give you some lunch, like a shitty salad sandwich and all that, and they'll just chuck you back in that cell with all the other boys, and you all eat your sandwich, and you're just waiting for like 3 or 4 hours, you know, in this cold fucking shitty fucking dirty fucking cell. And then one by one, the counsellor, and then they'll assess you, they'll call you out, and you'll be pacing back and forth saying, come on, hurry up, and fucking hell, they'll call you out one by one, and they'll sit you down in the room, and they'll ask you questions about your mental health, how you're feeling, do you have any allergies, do you have any specific food that you can't eat, do you have any problems with any other people in the prison, or do you want protection while you're here, do you want to go to to the protection unit, where all the fucking dogs and snitches and all the weird cunts go, you know. So you tell them, no, I don't need any of that, don't need any protection or anything. Yeah, and they'll go, okay, and they'll put you back in that cell again, and then now it's just a matter of waiting for all the boys to go through and get asked the questions before they finally say, alright, come on, and they march you all up with all your belongings and all your bedding sheets, all your, in a big bag, all your sheets, all your clothes, your shirts, all your prison shit. All you've got is your prison clothes, your bedding, your little bag of fucking toiletries, little tiny little toothbrush, little tiny toothpaste, little tiny soap. That's all you got. And then they finally walk you up to the unit, and yeah, and this is the point where you're like, alright, so bracing yourself, I finally made it through, finally been processed, now I'm about to go into the units and meet all the prisoners. So you're walking through the prison, and there's people yelling out from the yard, they're yelling out all sorts of shit, and you're thinking, fucking hell, like this is an eye-opener, you know, they're yelling out all sorts, they're trying to wig you out, trying to make you feel intimidated and shit, yelling from the yard, all these big jacked up fucking cunts, you're thinking, fucking hell, you know, like I heard someone yell out, yeah, that's him, like, and they're looking at me, and I was thinking, fuck, I don't know them, why are they saying that's him, you know, I think they're just trying to mentally head fuck me, you know, but I thought, oh, fuck it, you know, what can I do, just going to take it as it comes. But yeah, I think they were just fucking around. But yeah, but they were in another unit, so yeah, they weren't in, yeah. But yeah, so eventually, a few of the boys you're walking with, they'll go to separate ways, they'll go to separate units, and you'll end up being with like 2 or 3 of them that out of the group, and you'll go to that unit together, and other people will go to different units, and carrying all your shit. So you walk in, and see, I'd already done 3.5 months in Melbourne jail in Victoria, so I had something to compare it to compare Brisbane jail to. So I was thinking in my head, well, I wonder what how Brisbane prison's gonna compare to Melbourne prison. Okay, so yeah. So the moment comes, they finally open the door, we all walk in the unit, and it's just all eyes on you, you know, you're the new people in the unit, so everyone in the unit, in jail, they're all either working out, playing cards, just wheeling and dealing, politicking, running around, just, you know, yeah, all sorts of fucking people, just full crims, you know, jailbirds, just everywhere, yeah, they're all sussing you out, they're all staring at you, but I found Brisbane prison to be really good and friendly, but the thing with Brisbane prison is that they put you in an induction unit first. You go to an induction unit, which is all the people that have just come in, so it gives first timers a bit of chance to find their feet within prison and get a hang of the daily routines. So we all go to an induction unit, and you can be there for probably 2 weeks. I was there for about 2 weeks, and they allocate you your cell, and that's the other big thing, is thinking, who's my fucking cellmate gonna be, you know? So I'm thinking like, well, I ain't climbing up on the top bunk, you know, so I'm gonna get a bottom bunk no matter what. I don't give a fuck who it is. So yeah, but luckily, within the 6 months I was there in prison, I had about 13 different cellmates in 6 months, and I was pretty lucky. I count myself pretty lucky because I had pretty decent cellmates. Yeah. So the first cellmate I got, I'd already met him in the cells on the way through and processing, and he was this young kid, young impressionable kid, you know, like had a lot to learn about life, and just probably, probably thought he was a bit cool because he sold a bit of drugs and that, and I just laughed and I thought, oh sweet, you know, I shook his hand and I was real humble to him, and I took him under my wing and that, and I thought, fucking choice, like, you know, better than having some fucking full fucking spin out cunt who's like, you know, crazy and that. I got myself like just a young, impressionable Sally who's gonna be easy for me to just, you know, fucking, I wear the pants in this cell, you know, so it was all good. So I learned who my cellie was, and then we got into our cell, and we put all our stuff away, set it all up. I like to get all my stuff organised and that before I go out and mingle and meet people in the unit. I like to get all my shit sorted. So I went in the cell, packed all my shit away and that, and then I walked around, and everyone was just, as soon as I walked through the doors in the unit, when we all walked in, everyone just come up to me and shook my hand and said, "How you going, brother?" Like, introduced himself to me and that, and I was like, "How you going, Kyra?" And they're like, "Fucking hell, you're a fucking unit and that, you're fucking huge." And I was like, haha, you know, just being humble. I was like, yeah, just shaking their hand and that, and it was all good, like, it was all sweet, and I was like, yeah, sweet, like, I didn't have any fear, I didn't really fear anything but God anyway, you know, so I don't really give a shit. But yeah, it was all good. People were friendly as in Brisbane prison. Like, Melbourne prison felt a lot more edgy. It felt a lot more edgier than Brisbane. Don't get me wrong, Brisbane is pretty fucking hectic, like some bad shit goes down. But yeah, Melbourne felt a lot more hectic and edgier. You could feel the tension in the air in Melbourne. Yeah, a lot of shady characters. Thing with Brisbane, that was really different to Victorian prison is all the drug use in there, the needles, it's just disgusting. Like, I was on the top tier and I was looking through my cell down, because they lock the top tier away in the afternoon and the bottom tier away in the morning. They separate the two halves, like top and bottom landings. So we were locked away, and I was looking through the cell window down at everyone on the bottom floor, and just seeing dudes just using needles, shooting up, hiding away from the guards, making sure they're not looking, and just injecting. And I was just thinking to myself, holy shit, this is putrid, you know, this is crazy. But yeah, by the end of my 6 month sentence, I was so used to it, you know, like, I'd be on the phone to my missus or my family, and someone would be standing right next to me just shooting up, using me as a block to do their needle, you know, and it was just like nothing, like, it was just normal, you know. But yeah, you just get used to it. But so prison's a really dirty place, you know, it's a really dirty place. So in jail, you know, it's sort of like high school. Like, you've got your top, like, people that are like maybe bikies or something that are like, you know, you don't want to step on their toes. You know you don't want to fuck with them because they got numbers and they're about this life. So you just sort of stay out of the way. You know, you just do your own thing. You know, as much as there's hectic people in there, there's also humble, just normal people in there. There's all sorts of levels of different criminals and offenders. So yeah, you know, anyone can survive in there, but not anyone, because, you know, certain people that are just too easy to manipulate and bully, they don't do too well in prison. You know, they get stood over, they get slapped around, you know, which I don't condone, and I don't partake in that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, for me, being a real humble and godly person, who's loving and, you know, and isn't a full active crim, it's pretty hard to be in that environment. Yeah, at the same time, it's a good thing and a bad thing, you know. But I tell you what, at the end of the 6 months, I was getting near my wit's end. Just being around really negative people, just not good people, just junkies, and just I don't respect them, and that, yeah. But yeah, did I see a few fights? Yeah, the last 2 weeks before I got released, seen a pretty good fight. This one dude is a really good boxer. He fought 2 dudes back to back, and he bashed them both up. Eh? Like, this cunt was a real hectic fighter, And yeah, the yard is like Brisbane prison compared to Melbourne prison. The yard where you exercise. The yards at Brisbane prisons are real small, like half a basketball court and this cage. In Melbourne, the prison I went to, it was like it was a remand centre. It was maximum security. It was Metropolitan Remand Centre, but the yard was like a massive open oval with like cable weight machines to the side, and you could just do laps around this massive field all day. But in Brisbane, it's like a really close, like half a basketball sized court cage with like walls around it and like an overhead cage above your head. So everyone just works out in there and boxes and fucking does push-ups and that. Sometimes it gets a bit too much and it's like, fuck, I'm just, I sort of maneuver around, and yeah, some days I just chill in my cell and that, yeah. So luckily I only did 6 months because I couldn't see myself having to be there for like years. I don't know how some of these poor brothers, young fellas and old fellas, are doing like 10-year bids and like 15-year bids. It's crazy. Like, just when I think back now to like how like the routine is every single day, the same fucking thing every single day, and I think to myself, fuck, those fellas are still in there right now doing that same fucking thing every single day, and they're still keeping their sanity. Like, I don't know how the fuck they do it. I guess it's because they don't have any other choice. They just got to do it. Like, it's just their reality. Like, they're just going to do their 10-year bid. Like, they just have a routine and they just stick to it. That's how they survive. So I find that a lot of dudes that like demand respect and want to be called an elder or an uncle, like, I don't really think that they deserve that respect, because they're using needles and shooting up and chasing drugs all day, and they're also giving needles to like 19, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, which I don't think that deserves any respect, to be called an elder. Like, that's just fucking putrid, But yeah, so that's pretty much enough rundown. There's a lot more details I could share, but like, I just can't really think right now. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah. So yeah, overall, Australian prisons, fucking holiday. You get fed 3 meals a day. You get, hot shower. You get TV. I mean, it's a holiday for most people. Some people, probably not, because they get beat up and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, which jail was better, Melbourne or Brisbane? I'd say Melbourne prisons run a lot better. They run a lot better, and yeah, they're just better. But I only went to one, so I can't talk like I got all the experience in the world, Like, yeah, I'm not a fucking jailbird. But Brisbane prisons are alright. People were more like, it was less edgy in Brisbane, yeah. But just drugs, just junkies everywhere. It was just so, yeah. But I'm happy to be out of there now. Still don't have my full freedom, but I got half freedom. So I'm here at the immigration centre, waiting on a decision for my revocation of the decision that they cancelled my visa. So yeah, I'm in here, and all the dudes here are really chill, and this place is really relaxed, and I'm thankful. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that bit of insight about prisons in Australia, Brisbane and Melbourne. If you want any more, whatever. Have a mad one. Love ya.